Hello everyone, it's Blake with Boost Portfolio. We help traders and investors succeed in the stock market. Today we're going to go over some of the major sectors and also some of my favorite stock setups for next week. I'm recording this on Friday, July 21st, and the market has just closed, and let's get right into it. So you can see we have this consolidation box that we were trading in for the past 3 weeks essentially. This week we actually broke out of that consolidation box. We had a test and the retest of that box on Tuesday. Wednesday ripped higher, Thursday ripped higher, and then today on Friday we're just kind of hanging out. The MACD is bullish. I do like this setup for a longer term bull run. However, in the short to intermediate term, I don't like these three candles right here. Kind of a shooting star. It's likely that we could come back and test this 244, 245 area, at least the 10 MA. It's hard to add any new longs at this point. We're pretty far extended from the beginning of this uptrend. Started here on the 11th, closed above the 10 MA, and then we actually got a gap up and above the 20 and the 10 MA on the 12th. So ever since here, this is the real start of this most recent uptrend. It's hard to find any new entries the further that we get away from this 10 and the 20 MA. I would love some sort of consolidation, a pullback, so I can add to some of my positions. Now let's get into the IBB. The IBB is my favorite sector currently. If we kind of scroll out and zoom out and see what's really happening with the IBB, I believe it's a great setup. We have this breakout from this ascending triangle, and you can see we tried breaking out multiple times. Tried here, tried a few times here, tried again here, and then boom, finally we got a breakout on 6/20/2017 with some volume. Had a nice breakout, came back, consolidated, and now tested the 20 and the 10 MA, and you can see that 20 MA has held. That was really the key hold right there on the 20 MA. Came back, tested it a couple more times. As long as these 10 and 20 MAs hold, I really like this setup longer term. And what I like most about it is that we do have a fresh MACD bull crossover, and we're breaking out of this previous high. So I love this setup in the IBB. There's a ton of biotechs that are setting up nicely. If you do want to play this and try and add a little more extra juice on your trade, the IBB with the BIB, the UPRO, and also LabU are some good setups. Let's go into the bonds. How are the bonds acting? What are they telling us? This is something that you really need to watch. The bond yields have actually been falling recently. Even though we are in a rising rate environment, the yields are falling, and it's kind of helping out the bonds a little bit. As the yields fall, the bond prices go higher, and that's kind of the relationship between that. But you can see we've been basing, had a couple test at a breakout. This has really been the line in the sand. Had a nice breakout back here right around the 23rd, ran higher, and then we had a nice check back, held that breakout level, which was a key hold, and then from there we've just been moving higher. You can see we do have a fresh MACD bullish crossover, and we are above both the 10 and 20 MA. I wouldn't be surprised if we came back and tested this area, this 124.50 area once again before heading higher. But for the next week or two, I do think the TLT is set up to run higher. So let's get into some stocks now. As you guys know, Tesla has their release of the Model 3 on Friday next week, so that could be something to watch. But once again with Tesla, I think it's important that we do scroll out and kind of see what's happened and how this stock has traded. And Tesla has been in a very long trading range. This rectangle dates all the way back from 2013 and goes all the way till really this year. We just broke out in, we broke out on this day, which was April 4th. So April 4th, we broke out with Tesla. It did run higher. You can see Tesla had a breakout, checked that breakout level back on 5.4, and ever since then we have been running higher. I do like this stock. You can see this uptrend line has pretty much been in effect since the end of 2016. We've been holding this uptrend line. This has kind of been the trajectory that the stock has been running, and you can see right now we're kind of just bumping right up against that uptrend line. I would really prefer to see this close above this uptrend line. Until it does, I won't get too bullish on this stock. One of the things I do like, though, is that we do have, once again, this fresh MACD bullish crossover. And price is closing above the 10 MA for 4 consecutive days, so that is constructive. If and when we do get above this trend line, we're going to have this 20 MA to compete with. So keep an eye on that 20 MA. Currently, that 20 MA is right around 338, 339 area. And we do also have earnings coming up on this August 2nd. So keep that in mind. Not something I'd want to hold any options through earnings, but if you are an investor and you own the stock, might be something you just kind of sit through. I think this is a long-term good hold. So keep an eye on Tesla, especially on Friday of next week. We could have some activity. Let's get into some biotechs. Allergen, one of my favorite plays. Reason why we do have a MACD bull cross, and it's bumping up against this. You'll see it. It's a neckline from an inverse head and shoulders pattern. But same with Allergen, just like Tesla, we do have earnings coming up in a couple weeks. So keep an eye on that. Nothing you really want to hold any options through, at least for my trading style. But if you are an owner of the stock, I think it is something you kind of sit through. So if you scroll out, you can see we have this inverted head and shoulders pattern that's been developing. This is a very bullish pattern, especially in a bull market. So this could be an explosive move higher. It is something I'm watching very closely. So we'll keep an eye on Allergen. Gilead. I actually have added Gilead to my portfolio this week, and you'll see why here in a minute. So once again, let's scroll out. Let's take a look at the bigger picture. What's really happening? So Gilead has been in this falling wedge pattern for quite some time now, over a year and a half. It's been tough for people to try to pick a bottom. That's why we never pick bottoms. Try to pick a bottom here, you got crushed, here you got crushed, and just kept grinding lower and lower and lower. And that's really where patience plays a key role in your investing and your trading. So we thought we wanted to break out here, didn't want to. Came back, tested this 20 MA. Once we held that 20 MA, that was a very constructive sign. Once we held that, I became to be a little bit more bullish on the stock. And then once we broke out on this candle, this right here, you can see was a nice bullish candle, break out of that range. MACD is crossing up. That was on the 18th. And ever since then, we've just been running higher. Earnings are on next week, the 27th. So, no options I'm playing on this, but I do own it. I do like this stock. I think the first target that we can hit is this 85 level. It has been an area of interest for quite some time. It's been support. It's been resistance, acted as support, acted as resistance. So that will be the first area that I'm targeting for Gilead. And one more, guys, let's check out Baidu. Want to keep this video semi-short. Baidu has been really tough to trade. It's been in this really choppy wedge pattern. We're going to see if we can actually get some momentum out of this wedge. One of the things I did like is that if you kind of just look at this, it seems like we've broken out of the wedge and came back and retested that wedge, the downtrend line of that wedge, held that downtrend line, and as we zoom in, you can see the 10 and the 20 MA is crossing higher. So that's a positive sign, and we are moving higher with MACD. So if we can get above, right around this 195 area, I think, Baidu could potentially have finally some momentum to the upside and break out of this chop zone. So that's all I have for you today, guys. If you like the video, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you check out the website. We're giving away a ton of value. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.